The first four arcs, Romance Dawn, Orange Town, Syrup Village, and Barati, are solid, but honestly, they weren't enough to make One Piece stand out. I went in expecting a mediocre adventure until Arlong Park took a loudspeaker to my ear and screamed into my soul that this story is not a joke. I embarked on One Piece journey in the year 2020 when I was in the 7th grade, and this year I'm graduating the high school. I grew up with this show. When I finished Arlong Arc 6 years ago, I was impressed, but I thought that I would forget how the Arlong Arc made me feel as I progressed into the series. But I was wrong. Even after catching up to One Piece, this arc still feels amazing. I have grown from a kid to a teen to an adult, and how this arc portrayed injustice, systemic racism, and friendship still sticks with me to this day. And today I wanna break down what makes this arc so damn unforgettable to me. The warning every One Piece fan gets before starting the series is just wait until any sloppy. That's when it gets good. But that's over 260 episodes away. Going into our long park, I was braced for another okay arc. I wasn't prepared for a total shift in the series' DNA. Suddenly, we weren't just fighting bad guys, we were confronting the ugly reality of racism and institutional rot. Even if the early 2000s animation isn't modern, the storytelling depth was a shock to the system. This was the moment One Piece stopped being a cartoon about a rubber boy and became an epic about the human condition. The heart of this arc beats in Kokoyashi village, Nami's hometown. For dozens of episodes, she was the enigma, the thief we feared would betray the crew at any moment. But Arlong Park strips that mask away. We realize she didn't choose the life of a criminal for greed. She chose it for survival. She carried the weight of an entire village on her shoulder for 8 years, suffering on silence so she wouldn't trouble her captain. She wanted to free her home village, so Arlong, the big bad evil ruler of her village, told her to collect 100 million berries and give it to Arlong in order to free her birthplace. And that's what Nami did. But after Arlong got the money, he refused to let Nami have her hometown back. And Nami couldn't retaliate as her rebel would be crushed instantly. This man Arlong took her money, annexed her village, and killed her mom. And Nami couldn't do shit to him. Which brings us to the first theme of the show, corruption. The people in power can do anything which they desire. They always prioritize their interest even if it means to crush the powerless completely. This theme mimics the reality. Coming back to the story, after facing this reality, Nami couldn't handle the pain. She starts stabbing her own self and crying out. Her grief is witnessed by her captain Luffy, who stops her hand from stabbing herself, and Nami says to him, "This ain't none of your business." She tries to act macho, but Luffy knew how deeply his crew's member was hurt. And this is where Oda poured his heart out through the ink on the paper. Nami asks Luffy for help with eyes full of tears, and Luffy takes out his straw hat, puts it on Nami's head, and that was the moment when One Piece touched my soul. That was the moment I felt that Luffy is my captain too from today. The whole OG Straw Hat crew takes a walk to the Arlong Park to mash this fish looking dude's ass. Which brings us to the second theme of this arc, which is bond and friendship. Before this arc, Luffy's crew felt like these are just some random dudes gathered in a ship, but this arc made them feel like a family, ready to stand by for each other. This arc shows that there is strength in unity and bond, which is the most positive element of this arc. Nami alone couldn't defeat Arlong, but with the help of her Nakamas, she could. So we can say that there is a strength in unity. Now for the third theme, we got racism. We cannot deny that Arlong was racist. Being a fishman, he hated humans, which we find reasonable after looking at his past. This theme too mimics reality. Let's take example of Muhammad Ali. Wait. Please don't click off this video thinking that I'm gonna talk about some boxer in an anime video essay. I'm doing this as I wanna make a good breakdown for you guys cause I love y'all. So, talking about Muhammad Ali, after he represented America in Olympic boxing and got the first medal, he went to an American downtown restaurant where he ordered the food and waiter replied him with, "I'm sorry sir, we don't serve Negroes here." To which the quick-witted boxing legend replied with, "Yeah, I do not eat Negroes either, just give me what I ordered." Despite being world champion at boxing, Muhammad Ali was disrespected for his color. Let me give you my example. In India we have caste system. I come from the oppressed caste, and when I completed 1k subs on my another YouTube channel where I post old school hip hop shorts, my friends were making fun of me because of the community I belong to. People just can't tolerate diversity. They just can't be okay with different backgrounds. And that's the reality this anime portrays so well. The way Arlong just wants to kill humans just because they were born of that species is what makes him a realistic yet terrifying villain. Which brings us to our next point. So villains of this arc are Arlong pirates, who belong from the Fishman race, which is a race in One Piece world, who have way superior strength than us humans, and they have a great advantage underwater as they can swim really fast. The main antagonist of this arc is Arlong, who looks like a shark and annexed Kokoyashi village and killed Nami's stepmom. Though we can empathize with Arlong after learning about his past, but back in the days when his past was not revealed yet, we saw him as pure evil, and his design was cool. It gave the vibe of a pure fuckassery, which complements his actions. This is one of the most overlooked arc in One Piece. Back in the days I was considered weird for watching anime, but in modern days everybody is watching anime, and One Piece has gathered a huge fan base. Yet I do not see people appreciating this arc as much as it deserves. Sure, this arc is not as grand as many of the other arcs in the later series, but yeah, its themes are top notch and the way it delivers those themes is also pretty good. Personally, it's in my top 5 arcs. I found this arc even more entertaining than Dressrosa. This arc is also underappreciated for the fact that it's the first arc that makes people think, okay, I'm gonna invest in this series. This arc also lets every Straw Hat have their fights and character development, which we do not see much happening these days. With that being said, we come to an end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Drop down on the comments which was the first One Piece arc that made you a fan. If you enjoyed my video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more such videos. Bye bye.